think it ever matters how old Stone Cold Steve Austin is. He can walk into any establishment and clang 2 drinks together before chugging them. And that's the bottom line.
This is Sportcentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have won their first second-round game since 2004. So it should come as no surprise to you that Leafs fans celebrated not getting swept with the passion of a fan base that knew they would be mocked relentlessly if they didn't win that one game. I love Broom Guy for many reasons, the main one being that was not a wooden broom, okay? That was aluminum. That thing was hard to bend. He bent it with the force of 1,000 waterfalls. And he did it in a very rare Leafs Joe Thornton jersey. Jumbo Joe! So other fan bases were obviously laughing at this behavior, while Mitch Marner was laughing at Matthew Tkachuk on the ice and keeping it incredibly serious off of it.
What's going through your mind when he's throwing punches there at the end?
Well, I know exactly what he's going to try to do, so just stay poised and don't really give a flying what the last words.
They've talked consistently about how they don't feel like there's any pressure on them. Do you feel like the pressure dynamic maybe changes a little bit now that you've gotten this one?
Who cares? We're about ourselves in here. We're focusing on ourselves. We know, we got to keep this effort up and make sure we bring it back to Toronto.
But while he answered his critics in Game 4, a lot of fans are still waiting to see more from Austin Matthews, who was pointless yet again and is now goalless in 4 straight games. And if he fails to score in Game 5, that would match his highest goal drought of the season, which only happened once from the 3rd to the 7th game in the regular season. Remember when everyone was panicking that early? Yeah, me too. This fan base is wild. This fan base is wild, and I was the one that told you to relax, remember? And any way you look at it though, you can either say Matthews is slumping or he's due. I just feel like he's due, that's all. I don't think he's slumping. Now, as we bring up the Roberto reaction, I was cautiously optimistic because I've been seeing the number 67 places. I'm gonna take my cautious optimism and bump it up to happy because my God, we avoided the memes that would have hurt all of us had the Leafs not won anything in the second round. So thank the Lord. So thank Nana. It happened. I'm not going to say I won't drop back to cautiously optimistic tomorrow, but for now, I am happy. To the association, we've got a couple of teams on the brink of elimination tonight. Let's start in the Eastern Conference, where the Celtics find themselves down 3-2 to Philly. And if Philly is going to advance, they're going to need another big performance from Joel Embiid, as the MVP went off, dropping 33 with 4 blocks. But it seemed like anytime Boston started to make a run, Embiid was there to stop it with a bucket. For Boston, they're going to need someone other than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to show up, as the pairs seem to be the only consistent production Boston has gotten in these playoffs. Now in the West, it's Phoenix with their season on the line as their series shifts back to Arizona. And the series kind of goes how Katie and Bucker go. In the Suns' wins, the pair have been absolutely dominant, combining for 79 points a game, 16 boards, and 17.5 assists. And while the scoring is still good in the losses, it's just not good enough. So if Phoenix is going to extend their season tonight, they need another monster performance from their 2 stars. Now, in terms of injuries, the Suns remain without Chris Paul, who will miss his 3rd straight game with that groin injury. DeAndre Ayton is also listed as questionable with the rib injury. Time now for my favorite segment and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
And one thing this segment loves is a good rally. Even in Teqball, which is a combination of table tennis and soccer that we just cannot get enough of. This is actually really cool. Like, I can't do any of this, so we should be impressed. We should be impressed. Okay! That header was so insane. Look at the chest moves. Look at the head moves. Look at the leg moves. I'm sorry, how is this just not spike ball with no hands? Like, how is this just not? This is just spike ball with feet. Maybe I'm not as impressed as everybody else. The WNBA season is just around the corner, and it will be a historic first this Saturday on TSN, as the Chicago Sky take on the Minnesota Lynx in the first ever WNBA game in Canada. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. I, for one, will not be watching on TV, but that's because I'll be there. I'm so excited. I'm taking Julia to Sherry as my date, which is already gonna be fun. And then Takia's gonna be there. Like, it's just gonna be a fun crew of bar down girlies at the WNBA game. I'll bring you with us, of course. I'm gonna take all the footage. You'll have it on Roberto on the go and on my stories. I got you, baby. So with the regular season so close, let's bring in our gambling guy, Wes Chang, to talk some futures. Wes, this year we've got 2 teams and everyone else. How does it affect your approach to the futures market?
Well, perhaps you wait a few games into the season. Hopefully one of the 2 super teams stumble. But the reality is, defending champs, Las Vegas Aces, New York Liberty, those are going to be the 2 teams. Both have current and former MVPs. It's going to be total domination. That's the story of the WNBA this season.
Anything else you love when looking at futures?
If you're anti-super team, maybe you look at this FanDuel bet that's out there. You can bet the field. Plus 400 to win the chip. Any of the other 10 teams. Who knows? One injury here or there. Something doesn't go right. Anything can happen.
Wes, a pleasure as always.
Hey, thank you for having me.
That's all for today. We'll see you back here tomorrow at the ESPNW Summit. Cannot wait to take you guys with us. We'll see you then.